Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and yes, we are going to play through another episode of HEXplore It, the Valley of the Dead King. That's right, so we're going to head right into it, and we have the land here being all prepared for us. We have explored so much of the western side of this map. We've got 3 tiles out over here, so a number of things have popped up. We've gotten some ruins here near our party, more ruins over here, a fallen city, as well as a monster or boss we can go after. The black market is moving north into the mountains, and we have other ruins further along. The Dead King has hit the target city way up north and is now targeting next to the central city in the land. So this is going to be really interesting, and we're going to have to put some strategy into how we can slow the Dead King down. Now, the number one way is to go get talisman, which we were able to do in our last episode. So we did get one of them, and we got it at the number 2 shrine. So that's why we noted it here on the battle mat. Now, the interesting thing is, this Dead King currently is moving at 3 spaces every time it moves, which means it's going to be moving very fast to this central city, which it targeted in the last episode. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then another one. That's 3 rounds to get to that central city and then take it. The danger with that is that if he takes another city, then this movement is going to increase again, and now he's moving even quicker, and the chances that he's eventually going to take over all the city continues to rise until he eventually targets us and comes for us. And we want to be sure that if that and when that happens, we're prepared, but we can also retrace his steps and try to reclaim these cities. And so what I'm thinking of doing, but I believe a lot of you guys are wondering why I may not do this, and there's a reason for it, but I was thinking about going back and reclaiming this city now that I have a talisman. The only problem with reclaiming this city is that I don't currently have a entity or anything up here in the circumstance row that I could use to summon. And in this row up at the top, you need to essentially have a card that for my summoner to be worthwhile when it does its summoning circle and invocation. So if they're really powerful, but they're only useful if I actually have something to summon. So what I'm going to have to do is kind of try to explore the world and get a circumstance and try to replenish that row, or go after a luck stone in a certain city, if I can get to one, in order to just clear 3 of them out. So a luck stone basically allows you to spend it, and if I'm not mistaken, from very, very early on in this playthrough, you can choose whether some of the circumstances are replaced, I think 3 of them, and then or even the quests. Now, I'm pretty happy with the quest row, but again, our circumstance row needs more creatures that I can summon, so when we head to the city, my summoner can summon those creatures and we can have it as an ally, which would be really good. So we need a luck stone, and I'm just going to double check really quick on the shrine to see whether or not the shrine happens to have any luck stones, because it might, and I don't know for sure. So the shrine card's here. It's got rations, mystic tonic, spectral tonic, pickling pouch, teleportation, talisman, and reincarnation. Well, teleportation looks pretty cool. So we are beginning a new round, so we got to do things in order. We will continue from where we were in the last one. The very first thing I want to mention is that Raja actually commented on the channel in the last video and mentioned that we had a 2 gold discount because of our wonderful black market card that we had over here, which I've now, it was this one right here, the Shady Informant. And I forgot to give us a 2 gold discount for each of my characters when they paid their gold. So our characters are actually going to become a little bit richer before we go out on this particular round. And he caught that, and my group is very thankful for that, because that's going to increase how much gold they have. So we're going to be going from 1 right here on Clarissa the Guardian to 3. And if we come over here to the summoner was at a 4 and will now be at a 6. That's pretty awesome. So I thought about where we want to go, and I'm really thinking the ruins may be the best choice. The reason is that I can go to the ruins, they're close by, I can move cautiously, and that's going to have me roll specific dice without having to worry about wandering and things like that, even though wandering we can actually use to our advantage. If you watch my last episode, I explained that with this astrolabe card we have over here on the side, basically I ignore anything that has to do, if I want to, I can ignore anything, any negative effects or negative directions from a wandering die. So basically I can take it as an advantage, or I can, discard it if I don't like it. So that navigate check or skill check doesn't really affect me as much right now, as long as I have that. But if you're going to move cautiously, you're only rolling the blue and yellow die, which is the survival and explore die. So that being said, with that in mind, we're probably going to go ahead and do that. So let's have our group here travel 2 spaces up to this location. And again, before we go, we always have our camping gear. So if I had vital stats that were low, I'd be gaining 1 in each of these, but both of our characters are full health, so we're okay there. So I'm choosing to move cautiously, and I can move a movement of 2, which is good. I'm happy with that. We're going to go ahead now when we move cautiously, and we're going to roll our blue and yellow die for each of our characters, hoping for good things. We'll see what happens here. So I got a 9 and I got a 7. Okay, so those are going to be likely fails. Those are really high. Now the other thing to remember, guys, we do have the helpful commoner. So the helpful commoner is always going to give us a -1 on our rolls to help us out, but it obviously doesn't really help us much right now. When we get back to a city at some point, we're going to be able to cash in quests and get double the amount. So we don't want to forget that either. But right now we don't have any quests to cash in. So I'm just going to probably go into the ruins here is my plan. So I got a 4 and an 8. Okay, so let's see how this works out. So with the helpful commoner as part of our group, in terms of gold, this is a fail, as 8 is much higher than my 3. Coming over here to the summoner, the Tempest, 9 is what we got, but it's an 8, and my check is a 4, so that's a fail. If I come back over here, we're talking about survival next. It's a 4, and look at that, it's a 3, but remember it's -1, so that is going to be a pass. So we don't have to consume any food on the Guardian. Fantastic. Downside is we do have to consume food on the summoner because I failed that check. So the summoner will be eating 2 foods. We're going to drop from 8 down to 6. Let's see if I can get this right. So that's 7 and then 6. There we go. All right, so we're all squared away there. So with that in mind, when we typically, and when we move cautiously, we can discard or may discard the circumstance we roll this turn. We are technically, we've stopped though in a ruin. And when you stop in a ruin, you actually don't go to the circumstance pile. You go right to the event phase. So in this case, we're going to be going right to the event phase. Now it would have been nice to get rid of some of the circumstances up here. So in subsequent turns, I'm hoping that I'm going to take advantage of this ruins this turn, and then in another round, I'm going to go wandering off here, and we'll try to get rid of some stuff from there, or head directly to a city if we can. But I can tell you right now, cities are very, very far away from where we are, so that may be tough to do. Just taking a quick look to see if there's any other spots we could go. It's going to be very tough. We could try to beat the Dead King to the central one, but that could be really risky. So let's go ahead and resolve the ruins, because we've never actually been to the ruins before. So we're going to this section of the reference card now, and it says instead of rolling a circumstance, one hero rolls a 10-sided die and consult the table below. So let's go ahead and take a 10-sided die. I'm going to take the yellow one. Doesn't matter what color, just has to be a 10-sided die. Roll it. I got a hex. Wow, I hope that's a good thing. That could be amazing. What is it? I'm guessing it's a really good thing. You survived a mythic event. Reduce each hero's health and energy by 5 to a minimum of 1 remaining. Draw 2 power-up cards. Each hero gains twice the card reward. What? That's super powerful. That is awesome. Okay, well, I'm not complaining about that. Good roll on the Guardian. Holy, okay, so what? How did I land that? What were the chances of that? That's the best thing you could possibly get at the ruins. That is so cool. There were so many other things. I want to show you guys what the different ones could have happened. We could have got artifacts, treasure chamber. There's a rescue operation that could occur. No luck, difficult, and things, of course, it looks like 6 and below start to get bad. So there was risk there, like difficult journey, trapped, epic encounter, something pops up at you, a boss could come out, or a terrible portal could basically send you anywhere in the world. So we really, really lucked out there getting that mythic event. So being that we survived it here, it says reduce each hero's health and energy by 5 to a minimum of 1 remaining. Okay, so basically we have to take a major, major hit. So, and it's health and energy. I want to make sure that it's each hero's health and energy. Yeah. So everybody loses 5. So this is going to be down to 4 and down to 3. 4 and 3. So that's a decent drop. But hey, totally worth it for what we're likely going to get as an advantage out of it. Oh, that puts the summoner very low. 2 and 2. That's dangerous. 2 and 2. Let's grab this pen here. That's crazy powerful though, especially that it's double whatever we get on these power-up cards. If that's true, that's substantial. Like, that's huge. It says here, draw 2 power-up cards. Each hero gains twice the card reward. So, if I'm understanding this correctly, you're drawing 2 power-up cards in total, and then each hero is going to gain twice the card reward. So my question, and I'm going to probably look this up, but I might have to make a call on this, is that going to be 2 cards per character or 2 cards in general, and then both characters each get the advantage of both of those cards? So depending on the wording on that, that could affect things. So what I'm going to do for now, because I don't want to make any kind of cuts in the video, is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the 2 power cards, so at least we know what they are, and then I'm going to double check into it if I need to. So let's take one more read through it so that you guys can actually see it as well. So it says, let's go to where it actually matters. So it says, draw 2 power-up cards. So we're going to do that, and then each hero gains twice the card reward. That sounds pretty straightforward, actually. So let's just grab our 2 cards. So there's health. That's fantastic. And then there, oh my goodness, that's huge. Okay, so if this is what it is, I've drawn the 2 cards and all heroes gain those things but double them, then each hero now has just gone up in their vitals by 2. So now my vital here is now 11 for health. That's awesome. So that's like a free bump that I would have had to pay for otherwise. The cool thing is when your health goes up, then your actual current health will go up as well. So I'll bump that up by 2 because my max has gone up. There we go. So 6 and 3. That's really cool. Come over here to the summoner who like absolutely needed the bump up in health because I was very, very low. It looks like this actually hasn't been changed in so long that it's really stuck on there. You guys might be wondering, like, there's been about a couple weeks before I've changed that, so that's why it's sticking in there a little bit longer. So this is going to go to 9, and then the 2 is going to change to 4 because we bumped up by 2. That's awesome. Wow. What's really cool is this, the all abilities one. So double on all of the stuff. That's crazy powerful. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bump up our stats for each one. So this is going to involve a lot of erasing. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut away. I'm going to make all these changes, and then we're going to come right back, and everything will be updated. And just like that, the Guardian, Clarissa, is all powered up. +2 to every stat on this left side over here for skills. That's a huge bump. So from 3 to 5 in the attack position, from defend and use item went from a 3 to a 5. First mastery went from 7 to 9. And second mastery went from 9 to 11. Very powerful. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to double these abilities again thanks to that particular mythic event in the rune for the summoner. So these are going to all increase by 2. And there we go. The summoner is all boosted up. That it was a crazy rune encounter to get. That was so much fun. I don't think you could ever complain about getting something like that. So I'm just going to take those power-up cards, put them aside, and now we have actually completed the runes. And there's also a section here that states, let me see here. There is a section on the bottom of the runes card here. It says when luck runs out. So be careful pressing your luck while exploring the runes. If you use an item or ability to modify or re-roll the roll result, check the new result. If the result is between hex and 4, resolve it, and then roll a 6-sided die and count up. So basically, if you're making any type of modification to your die roll, then basically you'd be going ahead and dealing with this when luck runs out situation. And basically you're rolling one of these dies, and essentially what the point is that it's going to probably ramp you up from the 1 to 4 area into the nasty section of the runes where something bad could happen if you try to press your luck. So the good thing was because we rolled a hex, we didn't need to take any advantage of our helpful commoner to make any change to our roll. However, this roll is not considered a typical skill roll because that's what this commoner helps with. It's -1 to all skill rolls, which basically is this section right here. And I accidentally might have said even when I was bumping these up that these were skills. These are abilities, so that's my mistake. Skills are these ones right here. So these are the only rolls, or these types of rolls when it requests for survival, explore, or navigate are where the helpful commoner can help in. But the runes roll was completely separate from that, and it's basically you're doing this instead of doing a circumstance because, well, you're out of rune. So we're okay. We rolled a hex anyway, so there'd be no need to reduce that regardless. So all of that was just kind of an FYI. So moving on, we are now at the end of our game turn. So the Dead King is going to go now. So as per normal with the Dead King now has a target from the last turn, so it's going to move equal to its movement speed. So it's going to hit 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's on its way towards its central target. On top of that, we're also going to move the black market. I'm hoping the black market actually comes back towards us. We're going to roll a hex die to find out which direction that the black market will be coming in. And it looks like it's going to be moving in the 4 direction, which is going to be southwest, which is actually really good because that's pretty much the direction we are. So let's hope for a really high roll so this thing shows up close to us. I got a 3. Okay, that's not bad. So that's going to put the black market 1, 2, 3 right here. And I just broke away the whole continent there. So there we go. That's actually not bad. Now it's within 3 of us. So if we wanted to go back to the black market and potentially take a look at buying some stuff, we do have a little bit of gold, something that we could think about. We also want to think about the fact like I said before, we really do need to get rid of some of the circumstance cards up here to bring in some better stuff. So what I could do as well, if I'm thinking about this now, is take a look at the black market card really quick just to see what could be a possibility going into the next round here. So do we have anything in here that could help us in terms of, let's see here, we got potions, amulets, booster, bloodstone. Okay, I don't think any of those are going to be overly useful. We do want to go. We do want to have a circumstance occur so that I can pull out. Something, but I also don't want to get myself in trouble here. Do we go back to the shrine then? Actually, you know what? The shrine may be a good idea. If we go back to the shrine, then we can heal up our vitals, which have dropped quite a bit. So it'd be smart on our part to do that. If we head back to the shrine, we cannot get the same talisman there because we already have it. But it says here, heroes heal 1 condition and all lost health and energy while staying in a shrine for free. So that's really cool. So maybe we should head back to the shrine for the second turn, even though it's not exactly the best thing to do. We also have a quest which is relatively close to us. This is that one where we pick up at the mine and we have to deliver the individual, to or escort that individual. That's from this aid card right here, and we have to move them to another tile that looks similar. So it'll be way over here. I don't know if I really have the time for that, although it does give some gold and a power-up card, which would be nice. So I'm kind of debating there, but you know what? We really do need to get our vitals up because I really do need to reclaim one of these cities as one of our primary focuses because the Dead King is moving pretty quick. So let's go back to the shrine for now and see if we can maybe buy some things at the shrine with our money that will help us out later. So, and also heal up. So what we're going to do is, and this is where things get interesting. So if I move to the shrine and I move cautiously, which I would do, then if I land on the shrine, I don't get to do a circumstance card up top, which means I don't get to clear some of that. And we don't have at a shrine the luck stone, which we badly need in order to refresh that row. We need to get to a city to do that. So that's really not good either. We really need to get to a city, and the only city that's close to us, technically that hasn't been taken over, is Central, and the Fallen King or the Dead King's going to be there soon. These other ones are so far away, we almost need to be able to teleport there. So I'm just taking a quick look here to see whether or not it can be carried per human. Okay, so there is a teleportation rune at the shrine that can be purchased. It says it's 8, and it says transports the group to any hex on the map during the movement phase. You are considered moving normally while using this item. Only one can be carried per hero. That's pretty good. The movement phase. Interesting. Okay, so it's like a one-time use thing if I'm not mistaken. So that could be really good, but it's 8 gold, and currently we don't have a hero with 8 gold. We have 6 and 3, so we have 8 combined. But we may end up finding some gold potentially. That could work if we get a really good roll on our summoner when we head back to the shrine, and then we could buy it and teleport to a city, which may not be a bad idea in order to get the luck stone to then be able to recycle this entire upper area so that we can get something to summon, so that we can then go into the Fallen City and reclaim it. So many things to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do that. We're going to start off the round. Now again, we start off a new round. We have our camping gear, so right off the bat, we technically would heal up 1 and 1. So we'd be going to 7 and we'd be going to 4. So that's nice, but it's not going to matter much because we're going to go to the shrine anyway and be healing up our characters. So I'm just going to do it just because that's the right thing to do, but it doesn't matter because we'll be essentially healing fully when we get to the shrine. So 5 and 3. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to move cautiously there. So when we move cautiously, we're only rolling the blue and the gold. We're hoping for some money. That would be the best, and our helpful commenter can help us out here. So there we go. That looks like a success. A fail on the food side of things, but a success on the gold side of things. I really want to see a gold on the summoner because the summoner has 6 gold. So here we go. Oh, that was a miserable fail, but we did actually succeed on the food side of things. So that didn't exactly work out the exact way I wanted it to, but you know, we'll go forward. So we're going to gain 2 gold for succeeding at this one, but it's doubled because we have the really cool enhancifier. So it's going to be 4 gold, which is going to bring Clarissa to a total of 7, which is pretty good. So 7 gold. And then we're going to come over here, failed the food check. So there's going to be a consumption of 1. So we'll do that. Then we're going to come back over here to the summoner. And the summoner failed the gold check, so found nothing, but got enough in terms of food because it's -1 from the helpful commenter. So no food needs to be consumed there. So we're all good. We landed on a shrine, so we're not going to be doing a circumstance. We're going to be jumping right to the shrine. So as it says right here, when you are on a shrine, you skip the circumstance. Heroes heal 1 condition and all lost health and energy while staying in a shrine for free. And then we can purchase items and we can turn in a single quest as well. So first off, we're going to do what's obvious, and that's just get all of our health back. So we're back to an 11 and 8. So that's not bad. Okay, and we're going to come back over here to the summoner, do the same thing. This is going to go to a 9 and a 7. It's pretty good. Summoner's probably the one that needs to be bumping up the vitals a bit more. I'm not, actually they both really need to. Okay, so next up is to decide what to do in terms of purchases at the shrine. So the good news is, after a quick check, we can actually trade gold. So even though we talked about going to the shrine and buying the teleportation rune, and I was saying, oh, we need 8 gold for that, but we don't have it because each character basically only has, this one, Guardian has 7, Clarissa does, and then the summoner has 6. We are able to trade gold, so I could actually have the summoner give, well, which one? I think we need to get the vitals up higher on the summoner. So I think what will end up happening is I will keep the summoner will actually trade 1 gold over to the Guardian, and the Guardian will spend all of her gold in order to buy the teleportation rune. So this is going to basically just be reduced because it would be 8 now because I just gave it a +1, and then we remove all of it, and then bam, we now have a teleportation rune, which says, as we mentioned earlier, basically it teleports the group to any hex on the map during the movement phase. And we're going to be able to use that right away, which is really helpful. So let's go teleportation, or tele rune, and I'll erase that when we use it. Okay, so at this point we have no more gold for the Guardian, so we can't buy anything else. The Summoner, though, has 5 gold. So this is where I could go to my vitals here and try to boost those up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to boost up, I think, my health and my... Yeah, I'm going to boost my health up and my... Well, is there anything else at the shrine that's really unique that could help us for 5 or less? We got this Spectral Tonic. Starting next round, you become, while the effect persists, you are untargetable by a single time. Okay, not useful. Ooh, Mystic Tonic. When can we use it, though? This item may only be used in combat by performing a defense action. Okay, but that's really helpful still. That's still... Oof, that's tough. It's very tough. That's really tough. Let's... I think the vitals are still better overall. So let's spend our gold on the vitals, because that's a long-term gain instead of a one-time heal type thing. So I'm going to actually go ahead here with this, and I'm going to scratch this out for 2 and scratch this out for 2. So we're basically spending 4 total, and 4 total from 5 is going to leave us with 1, and our stats are going to go up for the Summoner. That's good. And we'll drop all of our stats. So this is going to go to 10 and 8. That's pretty good. Better than what it was. This obviously hasn't been changed in a while. 10 and 8. That's pretty awesome. We got to get these into double digits if we're going to deal with some of the bigger monsters, and we don't want to be hit for those really high hits and not be able to survive them. So that's pretty much it. I have no more gold to spend in the shrine. So at this point, the turn is over, and we're going to be moving to the Dead King. The Dead King is sadly going to move 3, so 1, 2, 3, and is just outside the next fallen city. Not good. We're going to have to take a hex die. We're going to roll to find out where the black market goes. Not so much of a concern now, as I don't think I'll be heading towards it. It's actually going to be moving back towards us, back this way. So how far? 3. So it is coming closer. 1, 2, 3. It's just making its way over slowly. Maybe as long as it follows us around the map, we can actually make use of it later on down the line. And that's going to end the turn, or this round, and we can move into the next round. So again, what I'm trying to go after strategy-wise here is a luck stone. I really want to get a luck stone. I need to clear this and get some stuff that my summoner can summon in to get to a city and reclaim it. I'm not going to be... My characters are not strong enough yet to be able to... Well, I don't know. The summoner's got an absolutely vicious phantom strike now with the +2 we got. Like, they're not bad. It's just having that extra thing is just a safety net, I guess, when we attack. But it might be worth risking it. All right, guys. So this is where I need your feedback. I want to know, what do you guys think I should do next? There are so many possibilities here. The two major ones are: do we need to go get a luck stone to clear that upper section to try to get another character that my summoner can summon in during battle to help us during our battle? Or did the fact we went to the ruins and got an incredible hex roll, which allowed us to bump up all of our stats, give me enough to basically handle whatever's being thrown at us from reclaiming a city? I'll give you guys a quick look at the card that actually would be in the game if we were to try to reclaim that city back. So that would be this one right here, the Fallen City. So this is where we would go, and this is the card we'd be basically battling against. Now, if you guys think we can handle this, I'm going to go for it. If you don't think it's a good idea, then what we can do on the next turn is use my teleportation to head to the nearest city, and then go get that luck stone from the city, and then on the subsequent round, be able to clear up this row, and then be moving towards the city. So it's kind of hard for me to endorse that one, because it seems like it would take at least 2 rounds before we're productive. Whereas if I can go reclaim this city, which is right here beside me, that makes the most logical sense. But I want to get your guys' opinion on whether you think this is something I should try. So I'm going to give you a quick glimpse at the Guardian again, and the stats for the Guardian, as well as the stats for the Summoner. And now you kind of know where both of our characters stand in terms of their stats. And it should be interesting to see whether or not you guys think we should or shouldn't go for reclaiming the city. But I'm starting to lean towards that decision. So thanks so much for watching, guys. This has been a blast to play. Hope you're enjoying it, and I'll see you in the next episode. As always, keep on rolling solo.